everyone. I'm Lily. I'm a sound designer at Arturia, and I'm really happy to be back here. I'm going to be talking about the firmware update number 5 of the Microfreak. So here in front of you, you have a limited edition skin called the Stellar Edition. So this one's very special in that we've added these icons that are representing space exploration, but we still kept the parameter names. We wanted to remove the parameter names just to have icons to make it intuitive for people who don't know synthesizers, just to play intuitively with the machine. And so I'll get into the features of the new update. So, but for those of you who don't know, this is a monophonic hybrid synth with an analog filter and 4 voices of paraphony. And so there were 16 digital oscillators and a mic input for the vocoder. But this update comes with 4 new engines, and they all involve samples. So the first one is called Sample, just sample engine. And there are 64 new presets, 52 new samples inside. So to select the samples, you just go Shift Type in the oscillator section. So I'll just play through. The cool thing is you can just play and browse through with the knob. I'll make a longer envelope. We have shamisen, piano, guitar. We have harp with their pigments presets also. We have sound effects, even like there's a vocal pads. 808. These are the factory samples. There's, for example, already made harmonic progressions of like this. Really nice for just on-the-go composition, and some sounds like this. So in the sampler engine, this first sample engine, you can choose the start point, and the time feature is bipolar, so you can reverse the samples all the way. So in this, for example, with this preset, this sample is fully reversed and looped using the last knob, but if you go all the way to the normal forward playback, it's the acoustic guitar sample. So you can have a lot of fun with reversing samples. That's the first engine. Then there's the scan grains engine, the second one. So this one will time stretch your samples and keep them the same length regardless of the pitch you play. And you can stretch them between 0 and 500%. So here's the lo-fi key sound. Here it's at 1, like the normal speed, and then it can stretch it. And then you can also adjust the density, 2 to 50 hertz. Repeated grains. And then you can add chaos. So this is random with the start, pitch, and density. And then the third engine is cloud grains. So this is a classic granular engine using the starting point. So I've got. This is great for pads and evolving sounds. And same thing, you can adjust the density. Well, that was the starting point. The density, the chaos. And you can modulate, for example, the density with an LFO. That's a really good idea for this kind of for this engine. And we'll hear this more in the last engine, the last preset, which is called Hit Grains. This engine is just like the cloud grains, but the envelopes are more sharp, so it makes these percussive sounds, like triangle shapes. And then the last knob will determine how sharp these are. And you have, there's also a new feature called the random that takes the space of the ARP sequencer. So this will add random every time you play a note according to the values that you've put in your matrix. So if I take a preset that has, for example, this one, and I will select the random instead of linear, otherwise it's called linear. And I will put like a LFO on pitch. Well, that was the extreme one. But if you put the values low, then it's like having dispersion, but on a monosynth. So it makes it more deep, like you're playing a polyphonic synth. Or on cutoff, for instance. So those are the 4 engines, and I wanted to show you what it sounds like with how it would sound like if you made a track using only the new firmware. And so in this track, the only sound that's not from the Microfreak is the kick, but you can. Lastly, most importantly, you can import your own samples using this firmware, and up to 24 seconds in length. So that's also really cool. You can put your own drums. You make your own drum kits. So let's play this together. So it's a lot of fun, this update, and if you want to try it out and listen to the samples, we have one unit, we have one back there, and feel free to test out the 64 new presets and ask us any questions. Thank you.